got no friends. I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side, and people on the other side.
Welcome to the shift where the whole room blows. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. Just you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. This that channel that be talking back, energy attack. Iron sharp as iron, watch the whole league react. Competition in the building, better tighten up your facts. We ain't clones, but we still mirror how you crack under impact. Every debater work hard, spot a weak, rep fast. You live wrong, paradigm shift and break your stance. I'm the judge, the jury, the pen, the contrast. My bars hit always like a quadruple. Buying title shift where the whole room glow. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't all align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. We invite every mind, long as you stand on yours. Walking with respect, leave with open doors. Channel stay lit, views jumping off from boards. STL bounce, yeah, the spy from the source. Competitors, welcome, step up, don't fold. We don't fit pressure, we refine under low. Thoughts heavy, we press them till the truth get told. Shift so clean, it feel platinum, even when it's gold. Come through correct, bring your logic and your proof. Speak your truth, just don't run from the truth. We debate with grace, that's the paradigm groove. Flow so smooth, even turbulence move. Welcome to the shift where the whole room go. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Where the whole glow. DMG vibe, got the city on low. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' know. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibes, got the city on go. Welcome to the shift. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. Welcome to the shift. If you black, I'm with you, with you, with you, black, I'm with you. Welcome to the shift. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. Welcome to the shift. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibe, got the city on low. Put a paradigm shift, keep the road forward.
Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me.
All right, welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki, and we are back with another powerful debate. This is the Worldview Wars Debate League, and this matchup is for the vacant academic title. We got the Kemet Infomonger, Steve Calabro, and the Suto Hunter, Heru Conscious. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a classic. Now, as you know, in the Worldview Wars Debate League, the things change a little bit when it's a title on the line. You got two 15-minute quarters, two 15-minute rounds, I should say, a piece. You also have a 12-minute Q&A, and then you have a 3-minute opening and a 3-minute closing. Without any further ado, we're going to get right to it. Heru, I'm told you are the affirmative. Are you ready for your opening, my brother?
Yes, sir. I am ready.
All right, let me know when you want me to share your screen.
Okay, you can go ahead and share screen.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, sir.
What happened, DMG? You ain't do the hotep to my and Jumbo and all that other stuff. And Shalom. Come on, now we gotta call the spirits. We gotta call the ancestors.
Oh man. All right. Hey, listen. You know what, Steve, since you called me out, man, let me go ahead and get to it. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters, Hotep, to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Let me say shalom to my Israelite brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Let me say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Let me say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. Let me say what's up to all my atheist brothers and sisters. Salute to all my Abo brothers and sisters. What's up to all my Owaspi brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. Last and certainly not least, let me say Jumbo to all my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity. And last and certainly not least, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. Salute to my man Steve for getting me back on track. Hey, Heru, whenever you're ready, my brother, the time will start. When you start, you got 3 minutes to do your intro.
Okay. So everything on screen?
Everything is on screen. I don't know if you want to go to slideshow to make it bigger. And then I think I just put it on maximum size as well.
Let me go ahead and get in here. Okay.
Time starts. Not time to start when you start talking, my bad.
Okay. I need to be able to control this. Hold on. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this started, y'all. Of course, man, my name is Heru Conscious. Y'all know me as the Pseudo Hunter. I'm no stranger around here. Tonight, actually, family, I'm here. Tonight, I affirm that evolutionary theory explains the origin of anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens. Not philosophically, not ideologically, but empirically. The question is not whether evolution explains everything about human existence. The question is whether evolutionary biology explains the anatomical origin of modern humans. And the answer and the evidence actually says yes. So when we look at the evolution absolutely explains the origin of anatomically modern humans. Anatomically modern humans did not appear suddenly or fully formed. They emerged in fossil records gradually over hundreds and thousands of years. Expansion, facial reduction changes actually track time in a. So now what I want y'all to realize is that there is no sudden appearance. this is actually really crucial. If evolution were false, we would expect modern humans to suddenly appear abruptly without precursors. Instead, we see transitional African fossils like Jebel and Root, which is Morocco, at 300,000 years ago, showing early Homo sapien traits, but not fully modern morphology. This is exactly what evolutionary theology predicts: gradual accumulation of derived traits. I'm going to cite Hublin et al., and that's out of Nature Journal 2017. Now, this is where this is going to really get interesting, family, because I want you guys to understand that the conclusion doesn't rest on fossils alone. Genetic independently confirms African origin. Developmental biology explains morphological shifts, and population genetic models trace divergence timelines. So when independent scientific domains converge on the same conclusion, that's explanatory strength, not speculation. Thank you.
All right, you had 22 seconds left. 22 seconds
I can
left.
use my time right there.
All right. Let me restart. Remove your screen. And Steve, let me know when you want me to bring your screen up. Unmute your mic, Steve. Unmute your mic, Steve.
I'm unmuted now. Can you please bring up my screen, DMG?
All right.
Damn, my name. See that, and that's why I always have a printout, because the name is right over the bottom of my slide. But that's why I have a printout, just in case stuff like that happens and I can't read. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I can't move my slides. All right. Let me start my clock. 1 second. Out of time. Okay. So I can read. All right.
All right. Time starts.
One second. Just can you start my clock all over again, please? DMG?
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready now.
Time starts.
Debate title: Does the theory of evolution completely explain the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens? Introduction. The theory of evolution cannot completely explain the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens, because a theory is not complete and is falsifiable. Falsifiable, meaning the ability to test and disprove aspects of any scientific hypothesis or theory. Definitions: scientific theory of Homo sapiens sapiens evolution. A theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that has been repeatedly tested and has corroborating evidence in accordance with the scientific method. In science, a theory is comprehensive. Comprehensive does not mean the same as complete or total. Comprehensive explanation supported by a vast body of evidence. Complete or completely to the greatest extent or degree, and is total. Complete, total, and absolute are synonyms, meaning that they have the same meaning. Response: the theory of evolution does not completely explain the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens. On the other hand, scientific law of Homo sapiens sapiens evolution. A law is more precise since it mentions qualitative terms such as tall or short, and quantitative measurable terms such as 6 feet 2 inches tall and 4 feet 7 inches short. Law is a statement that summarizes a pattern observed in the natural world, often expressed qualitatively and quantitatively. It is typically based on repeated scientific experiments and observations, establishing a generalized rule to explain a body of observations. Importantly, A scientific law describes an observed phenomenon without explaining why it exists or what causes it. The term scientific law is more complete than a scientific theory, since scientific laws are often expressed as mathematical equations used in chemistry and physics. Scientific law provides a precise and repeatable way to describe natural phenomena. These equations help scientists make predictions and understand the underlying relationships between different factors and/or variables. My opponent is in the affirmative, and he insists that the theory of evolution completely explains the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens. I have already punctured and/or ruptured his argument by showing that the term scientific theory means that explanations of phenomenon are not complete, total, definitive, or absolute.
And that is time. That is time. All right, let me remove Steve's screen. All right, so this is for the vacant academic title, which means each of you have 2 15-minute rounds. Now, we've already established that Heru is the affirmative. With that being said, do you all want a 5-minute warning or a 2-minute warning?
You know what? 5-minute warning is good for me.
All right, Steve, what about you? 5-minute warning?
Well, since I have my own clock, two is good for me. It don't matter, right. 5 or 2, but it's whatever. It don't matter.
I got you.
But I prefer 2. I prefer 2. Thank you.
All right, Heru, I will let you know when you have 5 minutes left on the clock. Right now, we got 15 minutes for you to put down your first round demonstration. Let me know when you're ready for me to add your screen.
Okay, I'm ready. And I was going to ask you last time when you showed my first slides, was that full screen, or were you able to still see the slides on the side?
We can still see the slides on the side right now. I think if you go to slideshow, that's when it'll remove the slides off to the side. Hey, Ru, you with us?
It still shows the slides on the side, but that's yeah. Can you hear
Even
me?
when you go to slideshow, it says from the beginning or from current slide. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so when you click on slideshow, it'll ask you, do you want to start from the beginning or from current slide? You want to say from current slide.
Okay. All right, you guys can hear me all good now?
We can hear you. Time to start when you're ready. All right, we lost Heru. We're going to give him a chance to come back in. Let him know we lost him just in case he don't realize it. Let me let him know in case he doesn't realize it. In the meantime, family, we got another powerful weekend for y'all. We got MVP Chris Harris versus the champ Big Hemi next Sunday. We also have Khalil Shabazz versus Elder Yara next Saturday. So y'all stay tuned for that and be here next weekend for another powerful weekend of debates. Hey, Heru, we got you back.
Yes, sir.
Let's get your screen shared.
All right.
Were you able to hear me when I said if you go to slideshow and then say you want to start from current slide, that should remove the stuff from the side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me.
Right. So I want to make sure y'all.
All right. There we go. Time will start when you start, my brother.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Okay.
Do me a favor.
So
Heru,
family, right away, as you see,
Heru,
my opponent tried
It's up now. It's up now.
something very, very crafty and slow.
Hey, Heru, can you hear me?
Here.
Okay, let me say this. We can hear, or at least I can. I don't know if Steve can. I can hear the debate in your background. So
Okay,
you might want to close the door or something like that. Bear with us, family. We just working out the kinks. We just working out the kinks.
Yeah, is that better?
I think so. So I didn't start your time. So you want to start, if you want to go back to your previous screen.
Yeah, let me do that. Let's see. Let's see. You know what? The previous screen is actually just a title page, and I can go from here.
All right, time starts.
Okay, so right off the bat, I want to point something out that my opponent tried to do that was very, very crafty. Purposely, because he thought he would trip me up, but little did he knows I was more than prepared for this tonight. So over 300,000 years, genetic evidence of origin and introgression, developmental mechanisms explaining skull morphology, and population level speciation models. If evolution were false, we would see genetic discontinuity, no transitional forms, and no nested hierarchy. We actually observe the opposite, and that's the foundation of my affirmative case today. So what we're going to do here right now is look at some clear framing and definitions. I want the judges, moderators, the moderator, and anybody watching tonight. I want you guys to pay attention to this, where I'm about to go with this, because it's very, 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 very simple to understand this. But just to let you know, I did highlight all my sources in blue in the bottom and throughout the presentation. Okay, so what evolution actually means? Evolution is not a slogan. It's not a framework built on it's a framework built on mechanisms. Natural selection, genetic drift, mutation, gene flow, population genetics. Evolution does not describe a single dramatic leap from ape to human, and it describes gradual shifts in allele frequencies across populations over time. No individual wakes up as a new species. Populations change incrementally. This matters because critics often attack a caricature of evolution instead of the actual science. Modern evolutionary theory integrates fossil evidence, genetics, developmental biology, population modeling into one coherent system. And when we examine the emergence of anatomically modern humans, all those lines of evidence converge. I got sources here at the bottom that supports this as well. Um, so let's begin with the fossil record. I like to start here. Um, the earliest fossils attributed to early Homo sapiens appear in Africa approximately 300,000 years ago. And these new fossils show a mix of archaic and modern traits, not a sudden appearance, not discontinuity, a transition. So over time, we see a reduction in facial prognathism, more rounded brain case, refined cranial architecture, and the development of a chin. This is exactly what evolutionary theory predicts: gradual anatomical changes across populations. There's no break in the hominin lineage requiring an external explanation. The fossil record demonstrates continuity, not interruption, and continuity is the signature of evolution. I'm going to cite Hublin at 2017 on that one. This is just right here is actually showing you the branching of how human evolution actually works, because it's not linear. It actually branches out over millions and millions of years. So I wanted to give you guys an actual in that, but this is, you know.
Hey, Heru. I stopped your time. You breaking up. So I don't know if we missing some of the stuff you're saying, but you start breaking up. Yeah, like Zion said, it seemed like you glitching. Try again and let me hear how you sound.
Okay, is that better?
It sound better. Let's try it. I'll start your time over. I'll start your time. 10 minutes
right
and 58 seconds left.
Okay. So now let's move on to genetics. Genetics provide independent confirmation of what the fossils suggest. Modern humans share clear ancestry with earlier hominin populations. We see identifiable mutation patterns. We see population bottlenecks. We see expansion events out of Africa. Importantly, the difference between earlier Homo populations and anatomically modern humans are largely regulatory, not sudden in appearance, brand new genes. So small changes in gene regulation can produce significant anatomical and neurological effects. That principle is foundational in the evolutionary developmental biology. This is how complexity emerges, through modification and existing systems, not a wholesale invention, so to speak. So now what we're going to deal here actually does not contradict evolution. It actually reinforces that. Now, I'm citing Carroll, 2005, Modernity Explained. Let's address it because this is where objections usually appear. Critics argue that symbolic behavior appears suddenly: art, burial, ornamentation, abstract thought, but behavior does not fossilize the way bones do. We cannot expect a smooth archaeological curve for cognition. Cultural acceleration occurs when population density and communication networks and social learning cross certain thresholds. Evolution predicts that once neurological capacity reaches a certain level, cultural expression can expand rapidly. And this is not a contradiction of evolution. It's actually a demographic and cognitive amplification of evolutionary groundwork. Anatomy first, cultural explosion later. That sequence is not mysterious. It's actually consistent with population dynamics. We're going to go ahead and cite McBreedy and Brooks of 2000 on that one. Now, I'm waiting for him to bring the incomplete argument as well, because you may just hear that tonight. That every detail of human cognition, evolution doesn't explain every detail of human cognition, and that's true. No scientific theory explains every detail of any complex system. The standard for scientific, now pay attention, the standard for scientific adequacy is not omniscience. The standard is explanatory power across independent lines of evidence, and evolution explains fossil sequence, genetic continuity, comparative anatomy, population diversity, and biogeography. No alternative model integrates all of these domains simultaneously. Incomplete knowledge is not failure. It's ongoing research, and ongoing research strengthens, not weakens, the evolutionary framework. We're going to go ahead and cite Mayer, 2001 on that one. Now, speciation is a population process, not an individual event. Evolution defined as a change in allele frequencies across generations. No single first model human. There's gradual genetic divergence within structured populations. We did cite Mayer already. What is evolution? 2001, and we're going to introduce Fatuma. Into is that speciation does not occur when one individual decides suddenly becomes something new. It occurs when populations gradually diverge genetically, and that's exactly what we observe in early Homo sapiens population. This actually will neutralize any missing link nonsense that he will bring up today. Now, with that being said, we're looking at the regulatory changes. Major regulatory changes drive major morphological differences. Now, this is where this gets interesting, because major anatomical changes does not require massive new genetic invention. Regulatory modification in existing genes can restructure development. And here's what I'm showing tonight, y'all family. If y'all not noticing, I'm showing mechanism. Mechanism is going to be key here tonight. So one thing that we do know is that humans and chimpanzees share 98 to 99% DNA. The key differences arise from gene regulation, developmental timing, heterochrony, and also heterochrony alters cranial morphology. And I'm citing obviously out of King and Wilson, 1975, out of Scientific Journal, and Carroll, 2005, endless forms most beautiful. Okay, so the brain globularity and development. The globular brain case development changes in perennial and cerebral expansion and postnatal development trajectory difference. Now, one thing that you guys gonna have to understand is that the modern human brain shape develops through subtle shifts in early development. These are not evolutionary modifications, not abrupt redesigns, but evolution is explaining cognition physically. So now we're gonna move on to this. The modern traits emerge in mosaic pattern, because this is actually key. This shows you that there's no single modern package appearing instantly. Traits appear different populations. So now, one thing that I'm going to point out to Homo sapiens, which had the more stretched out cranial capacities. You know what I'm and as opposed to ours as in modern times where it's more globular. So evolution is the evolution is modular. Traits accumulate in mosaic fashion, not as a finite. That's the whole point of this. Um, Also, what I want to point out too is that modern humans emerged across structured African populations. This is a Pan-African origin model. Modern humans didn't just pop into existence at one point. They emerged from interconnected African populations. And this is why you can look at and you can see that Africa, even to this day, is the most genetic diverse continent, on the planet. Um, so we're not looking at a single geographic origin, gene flow among semi-isolated populations, and genetic structuring within Africa. I did have some scholarly support with Stringer 2015 and Scary of 2018. Now, here's another thing you guys got to look at. The symbolic behavioral predates the explosion narrative. What they had was they found engraved ochre, over 100,000 years old, shell beads in Africa, early pigment use. So the idea of a sudden behavioral revolution is outdated. Evidence shows gradual symbolic development. Now, the demographic threshold model, when populations grow, ideas persist. Cultural complexity accelerates, and evolutionary demography get all get all those sudden lead claims. We can get all those sudden lead claims out of here with that because it just doesn't happen that way. You have cultural innovation correlates with population density. Larger populations preserve and transmit innovations, and cultural acceleration is the demographic, not mystic. All right. So here we go right here. Multiple independent domains converge. This is where when independent scientific fields converge on the same explanation, that strengthens the model. So what
Hey,
we
Ru. Hey,
have
Ru.
here, what we
Hey,
see
Ru.
from my
Can you
first
hear me?
round here is I've showed y'all the fossils, genetic feather, and they converge. I can hear you, bro.
All right, I was trying to tell you, I stopped your time. I apologize. I was supposed to give you a 5-minute warning, but I got kicked off. I didn't know if y'all seen that or not. So I got your time right now at 1 minute, 41 seconds. Steve, if you keep in time, let me know if you disagree. But I had got kicked off of the stream.
Can you hear me?
Got back in. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I keep my time. I don't keep my opponent's time.
Okay, I hear.
I got you. Nah, it's
I can
fine.
hear y'all now.
All right, I got you at 1 minute, 41 seconds. Again,
Okay.
I apologize for not being here to get you with that 5-minute warning, but I had got kicked off, but I'm back. So I'll start your time when you're ready.
Okay. I just hopefully, yeah, I was gonna say hopefully everything. Okay. Let me see. I was gonna say hopefully everybody got a chance to see everything. As it went up and across the screen. But yeah, I'm ready to start now, bro. So here it is. I want to say this one more time. If evolution were false, we would observe no transitional fossils, genetic discontinuity, no shared mutations, no nested hierarchy. We observe actually the opposite across independent scientific disciplines. Evolution actually explains the anatomical origin of modern humans, and that's the affirmative in this case. Thank you for my first round here.
All right, you got 51 seconds left. You sure you want to concede?
Yeah, I can concede that 51 seconds. I mean, I could go into a couple more things, but I can save it for the next round.
Okay. Let me reset the time. We'll get your screen down and get Steve's screen up. Steve, unmute your mic. Time will start when you start, my brother.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's go. Round one. The word sequence in the title Evolutionary Theory completely explains the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapien, is an oxymoron and is contradictory. Oxymoron, a figure of speech in which contradictory terms appear in conjunction. For example, the debate question asks about evolutionary theory being complete and or total explanation. A theory cannot completely explain anything. Scientific law and fact are more conclusive, but still susceptible to change. It is not the law of Homo sapiens sapien evolution from great apes, but rather the incomplete theory of Homo sapiens sapiens evolution. Both scientific law and scientific theories are based in the scientific method and are falsifiable. Falsifiable, meaning the ability to test and disprove aspects of any scientific hypothesis or theory and are therefore not complete. Scientific fact. In science, an observation that has been repeatedly confirmed and or for all practical purposes is accepted as true. Truth in science, however, is never final, and what is accepted as fact and or truth today may be modified and even discarded tomorrow. Topic one. The theory of evolution cannot completely explain the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens, because its fossil record is incomplete. Fossil record and gaps. The fossil record is incomplete due to the rarity of fossilization and preservation bias, soft tissues decay, selective sedimentary conditions. So fossils are found in sedimentary rock, and sedimentary rock form without heat and or pressure, as opposed to metamorphic and igneous rock where you have heat and pressure and that would destroy the fossils. So fossils form under very specific conditions, and fossils are rarely found. Very precise environmental conditions are necessary for hard remains to fossilize while soft tissue decays. Consequently, not all transitional forms are known, but existing fossils collectively reconstruct lineage relationships. Genomic studies complement fossils using molecular clocks, radiometric decay for dating, and comparative genetics to infer. And to infer, meaning not complete and not precise, divergent times and interbreeding events between, for example, Neanderthals and Denisovans. Transitional morphology meaning form and structure shape in human evolution. Transitional morphology refers to species exhibiting mixed traits between ancestral forms and modern humans, reflecting gradual evolutionary change instead of a single bridge species or missing link. A series of fossils collectively illustrate transitions over millions of years. Even with transitional morphology, the fossil record is incomplete and does not fully explain the evolutionary origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens. These fossils display a mosaic or colorful patterns of evolution, where specific human traits such as bipedalism, tool use, cranial capacity arose incrementally with slow starts and stops and not simultaneously, not all at the same time. Transitional morphology emphasizes the gradual, non-linear progression, not in a straight line, but more like a complex yet incomplete branching tree of evolution rather than a single point bridging ape-like ancestors, the missing link, and Homo sapiens. Key examples of transitional morphology in the fossil record include Sahelanthropus chidensis, 7 to 6 million years ago, shows early upright posture but a small brain size like apes, represents early divergence from the chimpanzee human lineage. Ardipithecus ramidus, 4.4 million years ago, combines arboreal features such as long arms, grasping feet, with early bipedal adaptations in the pelvis and lower limbs. Australopithecus afarensis, 3.9 through 2.9 million years ago. It's also called Lucy, fully capable of bipedalism, but retained curved fingers for climbing. At 2.9 million years, there is of retention of ancestral traits while acquiring derived human-like adaptations. Due to an incomplete fossil record of Homo sapiens sapiens evolutionary origin, the theory of transitional morphology is also incomplete. Transitional morphology refers to species exhibiting mixed traits between ancestral forms and modern humans, reflecting gradual evolutionary change instead of a single bridge species or missing link. A series of fossils collectively illustrates transitions over millions of years. Members of the genus Homo were able to interbreed. Homo habilis, 2.4 through 1.4 million years ago, larger brain capacity, evidence of tool use, transitional dentition, teeth, reflecting dietary change similar to that of an omnivore. Homo erectus, 1.9 million to 110,000 years ago, more human-like body proportion, brain expansion, control of fire, and early migration out of Africa. Possibly the first to have 23 sex and 46 body chromosomes. Homo naledi, 2013 discovery, and Homo luzonensis, 2019 discovery, shows mosaic anatomy combining archaic and derived features, adding complexity to the lineage tree of anatomically modern humans. Round one. The evolutionary origin and biochemical pathway by which chimp chromosome telomere 2A and 2B fused is uncertain and therefore incomplete. Great apes have 48 body chromosomes and anatomically modern humans have 46. The fusion of chromosome 2 in humans is a result of an end-to-end fusion of two ancestral non-human primate chromosomes. This fusion event is marked by the presence of inverted. It was in the other direction in chimps. Telomeric. The telomere is the protective cap at the end of the chromosome, repeats at the fusion site, and a block of degenerative satellite sequences that indicate the remnants of the ancestral centromere. The centromere is the middle of the chromosomes where spindle fibers attach during cell division. The established formation time of this fusion is around 0.9 million years ago, with a 95% confidence interval of 0.4 to 1.5 million years ago. This fusion event is significant as it represents a major evolutionary change that reduced the chromosome number from 48 in the great apes to 46 in anatomically modern humans. And this is from Springer.com. The theory of evolutionary origin of anatomically modern human gene 2 formation is also incomplete. So up here on the screen, you see that's a chromosome, and the first one in blue, it says here is a body cell chromosome with 2 arms, chromatids, telomere at the ends, and essential centromere. Then again, here's another rendition of a body chromosome with the two chromatids and the telomere at the end. But here you see these are sex chromosomes, and they're single sex chromosomes. One is colored and the other one is in black and white. So the color for clarity, single chimp sex cell chromosome, 2A and 2B, that were cut, inverted, and combined to make chromosome 2 with a centromere in anatomically modern humans. Some say that these mutations are evidence of evolution, slow, gradual change over time. I say that this is revolutionary, since end-to-end telomeric inversion and fusion with two centromeres, one functional and the other archaic and vestigial, to form chromosome 2 is very rare in complex organisms such as anatomically modern humans and not readily found in nature. Even AI says that the core enzymatic pathway is known, but it does not know the complete. It does not know the complete biochemical mechanism and how and when enzymes functions during fusion.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Round one, unanswered questions about end-to-end telomeric fusion in Homo sapiens sapiens evolutionary origin makes it incomplete. Further questions that illustrate an incomplete understanding of the theory of Homo sapiens sapiens evolution. A, what is the complete metabolic pathway by which evolutionary fusion events occurred in sperm and egg cells for mutation to be passed on to future generations? B, what is the evolutionary mechanism by which fusion events occurred in multiple Homo erectus male and female populations for fertilization, reproductive fitness, and continuation of the species? Evidence of end-to-end telomeric fusion with two centromeres is rarely found in nature, making a complete understanding difficult. The metabolic pathway of budding yeast is studied, but a complete analysis of chromosome 2 formation in anatomically modern humans is still unknown. The estimated, and again, estimated means uncertain and incomplete, evolutionary formation time of this fusion is around 0.9 million years ago, with a 95% confidence interval of 0.4 to 1.5 million years. This estimated, and estimated meaning uncertain and incomplete, evolutionary formation time suggests that Homo erectus, 1.9 million through 110,000 years ago, was the first modern human ancestor to have 23 sex and 46 body chromosomes. Homo erectus had more human-like body proportion, brain expansion, control of fire, and early migration out of Africa. The theory of Homo sapiens sapien evolutionary origin is incomplete and does not answer the sapient paradox. What is the sapient paradox? It was first formulated by archaeologist Colin Renfrew in 1996 to address the puzzling gap between the emergence of Homo sapiens sapiens, which occurred approximately 60,000 to 290,000 years ago, and the onset of complex behavior, such as art, agriculture, and social structures. According to academic consensus and the Eurocentric timeline, these complex behaviors only appeared around 10,000 years ago with the advent of Eurasian civilization. This is so that Western-dominated academia gives total credit to Europe and Eurasia for civilization formation. However, the sapient paradox questions the cognitive and cultural evolution of humans, given that the species was biologically and anatomically modern long before these behaviors appeared. The debate question is not specific to biological evolution, but is broad enough that cognitive and cultural evolution can also be queried and questioned. This begs the question, what took Homo sapiens sapiens so long? Why did humans spend 50,000 years or more in seemingly uneventful prehistory, with hunter-gatherers living the exact same way across thousands of generations before starting on the trajectory that took humanity from cave paintings to almost self-driving cars in the comparative blink of an eye? Having self-driving cars as indication of an advanced civilization is relative to those engaging in conversation. The sapient paradox has since cemented itself as one of the great unsolved mysteries of Homo sapiens sapien evolutionary theory and existence. It stands alongside the Fermi paradox, named after Italian-American physicist Enrico Fermi, which asks why Earth appears to be the sole harbinger of life in an infinite universe. Round one. The theory of Homo sapiens sapien evolutionary origin is incomplete and cannot explain the rapid rise of civilization. Potential explanations. Several hypotheses have been proposed to explain the sapient paradox. Cognitive development. While anatomically modern humans possess the physical, biological traits for complex thought, the necessary cognitive frameworks for advanced, that term is relative, behavior may have taken longer to develop. This suggests that intelligence alone does not equate to the emergence of complex societal structures. However, the sapient paradox questions the cognitive and cultural evolution of
time. That is time. Powerful first round for both combatants. Powerful first round for both combatants. We will now turn it over to Heru Conscious. Let me unshare Steve's screen and bring Heru's back up. As y'all can see, both of these brothers are bringing the heat. They bringing a lot of information. I hope the judges can keep up because my eyes been shifting trying to keep up with these brothers. This is not my wheelhouse, so I have no opinions, but it's a lot of information going backwards and forwards, and I appreciate these brothers being here. That being said, we got Heru Conscious back up for his second round. Let me reset the clock at 15 minutes.
All right.
Heru, time will start when you start, brother. Hey, Steve did not come to play. Let me know when you're ready to start. Time starts when you start talking.
Okay, I'm ready, brother. I'm actually ready.
All right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. I do want to rebuttal. Before I even get into my slides, I do want to rebuttal something because this brother has actually just debunked his own argument, and he's actually put out a lot of information that actually supports the theory of evolution as opposed to going against it. One of the things that he did mention is as far as the scientific theory, what we have to understand is the scientific theory is not just an average everyday guess. What a scientific theory is a well established group of evidence that supports the explanation for natural phenomena. So one of the things that he actually did just bring up, though, he did just bring up that humans have 46 chromosomes and chimpanzees have 48. Well, I mean, if humans share common ancestry with chimps, we would predict 2 ancestral 8 chromosomes fused at end to end in humans. That's exactly what we observe. Human chromosome 2 actually contains telomeric sequences in the middle where fusion occurred, right? Vestigial second centromere and sequence homology to chimp chromosomes 2A and 2B. This was actually predicted before sequencing actually confirmed it. And this is actually textbook evolutionary prediction, bro. I don't even know why you brought that up. You really just hurt yourself. So here's the thing. I want to get back into my round because we don't have a whole lot of time, but I do want to touch on these things that all right. So we're gonna recenter this debate. And in round one, I did humans through fossil continuity, genetic continuity, regulatory developmental mechanisms, and also demographic models of cultural acceleration. All right. So in round two, what I'm going to be doing is, as I've already started, addressing the objections directly. And I want the judges to notice something. My opponent must show evolution fails, not that there are open questions, because that's not the same thing. Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Let me go ahead and get to this next slide. Okay, so now what we doing here, we're going to strengthen the fossil evidence since he wants to say that the fossil records are incomplete, and we're going to fossils at 1,000 to 300,000 years ago. That mosaic pattern is exactly what we would expect under gradual evolutionary transition. Again, I'm going to cite Hublin et al. 2017 and Stringer, your own source, 2016. We do not see a biological rupture, a sudden new skeletal architecture, or discontinuity in lineage. Instead, we see incremental anatomical refinement across populations. If evolution were false, we wouldn't expect either. We would expect either a total absence of transitional forms or a sudden appearance without precursors, and we observe actually neither. So fossils are not isolated, specimens. They form a pattern temporal sequence. So you're looking at 300 years of continuity, gradual cranial changes, and African distribution. Now let's get into this. Developmental biology. This is the mechanism, my brother. Let's take a deeper look. Let's talk a little bit deeper about mechanism. One of the strongest misunderstandings in debates like this is the assumption that major anatomical change requires massive new genetic invention. That's completely incorrect. I'm going to cite King and Wilson, 1975, on that one. It shows that regulatory differences, not new genes, explain major divergence between humans and chimpanzees. Evolutionary developmental biology demonstrates how small changes in gene regulation can produce, significant morphological outcomes. That's Carroll 2005. And then I have one from Newbar at 2018 shows that modern human brain globularity develops through subtle shifts in postnatal growth patterns. This is evolutionary modification of development, not redesign. So this is why this is important. Mechanisms matter, and the mechanisms are actually documented. Now, here's the part where you messed up, brother, because now we're going to strengthen the genetic evidence. We're going to elevate this really right now intellectually. Evolution actually modifies developmental timing through gene regulation, not entire anatomical blueprints overnight. So what we have to look at is hierarchy, regulatory gene networks, developmental plasticity, and this is actually mechanism, not hand waving here. So when you got population genetics predicts that speciation is a population level phenomenon, there is no first modern human. There's a gradual allele frequency change. Data shows that shared ancestry, structured African population patterns match evolutionary predictions. If modern humans emerge through non-evolutionary mechanism, we would expect discontinuous genetic signatures, but we don't see that. It's actually pretty consistent. So here we go. We're gonna look at the standards of science, scientific explanation. Let's clarify what explains means, because again, a scientific theory explains a phenomena if accounts for available data. If it accounts for available data, integrates independent evidence, and makes accurate predictions. Evolution does all three. No alternative framework integrates fossils, genetics, development, and demography simultaneously. The absence of omniscience does not equal explanatory failure. So now, when we look at the modern behavior modernity without myth, we're looking at behavior. Okay, so the sudden cognitive explosion narrative is completely and largely outdated. Symbolic artifacts exist well before 50,000 years ago, engraved in ochre, shell beads, pigment use. We already covered those sources earlier today in the first round. But Powell et al. 2009 demonstrated that population size correlates with cultural complexity. Cultural acceleration follows demographic thresholds. That's evolutionary demography, not mystic emergence. So anatomy proves capacity. Population density amplifies expression. There is no contradiction here. Now, this is what I want people to understand, the convergence. This is the core strength, because this is what I want y'all to look at, this critical point. Fossils converge with genetics. Genetics converge with developmental biology. Developmental biology converge with demography. Independent domains pointing to the same conclusion strengthens explanatory confidence. This is not a single fragile pillar. It's a multi-domain convergence. So when we look at quantitative genetic divergence, genetic divergence is actually measurable. Mutation rates are estimated. Mutation rates estimates molecular chimps, which are like 6 to 7 million years ago. I also got sources here as well from Scully et al., Nature Journal, 2012, and Langer-Graber et al., and that's PNAS 2012. So why this matters? Because this shows evolution is not speculative. It's actually mathematically modeled as well. The human genetic bottleneck, they actually match evolutionary prediction. When you look at the effective population size,
5 minutes.
10 to 20,000 ancestral humans. Okay. Out of Africa, bottlenecks signatures. You have coalescent modeling. So this demonstrates predictive modeling, not just storytelling. So hierarchy, heterochrony changes in growth timing and explain skull-shaped transitions as well. I wanted to just reinforce that one more time. But look at this here. So the evolution model, the evolution modifies developmental timing. Long juvenile brain. One of the big things that you guys can look for in this is, like I pointed out before, when you looked at the archaic humans, their cranial capacity was more elongated. Whereas you can see now with modern humans, as opposed to archaic humans, that our skulls are more round and globular. So that absolutely shows evolution. And I if that isn't a smoking gun, I don't know what will be for him. But mosaic evolution explained mechanistically. Traits evolved at different rates. Brain case shapes changes before facial reduction. The skeletal gracialization later. Modular evolution, and this is all non-uniform evolution. So one of the things that where my brother's gonna have some problems tonight is that he has to deal with the fact that all of this, the convergence itself, with from various domains bringing the same results. So when you're dealing with demographic scaling model, the cultural complexity scales within population size. Larger populations retain innovations. Innovations retain retention curves and simulation and we have simulation models. So what this really breaks down to, when you have you have smaller and larger population. The larger the population, the higher the innovation retention. You know what I'm saying? And the larger, uh, as far as, I'm sorry, yeah, the I'm sorry, the larger population will actually give you high innovation retention and also the low innovation retention would come from smaller populations, obviously. Um, so now again, here's something else that he's missing out, and he did mention it. I'm just not sure why I didn't register. But the evidence of interbreeding confirms evolutionary continuity. The fact that we have 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA in non-African populations, gene flow between lineages, this proves evolutionary branching and recombination. He mentioned this. I don't see why he didn't uh actually study further into that, or that just didn't I don't know why it didn't register. But anyway, um what would actually disprove evolution? Well, what we should see if evolution was false, and again, we're going to see no transitional fossils, no genetic discontinuity, no shared mutations, no nested hierarchy, no. Well, actually, I'm sorry, that's on there twice. So here's my conclusion, family. Fossil continuity. The fossil record shows stepwise transition from early hominids to Homo sapiens sapiens. Anatomically modern humans did not emerge from nowhere. 98.99 to 99% of our DNA is shared with chimpanzees. We have a nested hierarchy of mutations that reflect shared ancestry. Developmental mechanisms. Small regulatory changes in gene expression produce large anatomical shifts over time, explaining the changes observed in our morphology. So then we move on to the demographic scaling. This was the last point that I hit. Behavioral complexity scales with population size as numbers grew. Cultural complexity became adaptive and
That
changed.
is time. That is time. All right. Let me remove Heru's presentation and bring Steve's back up. We reset the clock for 15 minutes. Steve, the time will start when you start. Heru is coming with the heat, brother. Let me know when you're ready.
Let's go. Round two. The sapient paradox supports that the theory of anatomically modern human evolution is incomplete. And the debate question is not whether evolution is true or false. That's not what we're debating here, my brother. Potential explanation. Several hypotheses have been proposed to explain the sapient paradox. Environmental factors, changes in climate and evolution and environment may have influenced human behavior and societal development. The transition from nomadic lifestyle to settled agricultural communities around 10,000 years ago marked a significant shift that allowed for the accumulation of knowledge and resources, leading to more complex societies. From snakecult.com. Re-evaluation of prehistory bias. Recent anthropological studies argue that non-European and non-Eurasian prehistoric societies may have been more complex than previously thought, with varied social hierarchies and cultural practices that did not leave clear archaeological traces. This reevaluation suggests that long periods of apparent stagnation may not have been as uneventful as it seems. From bigthink.com. The hell? It's completely wrong. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, forget about those slides. That's the wrong set of slides. But anyway, topic 2. Hominid ghost DNA proves that the theory of anatomically modern human evolution is incomplete. The sapien paradox remains one of the greatest mysteries of human evolutionary theory and Eurocentric bias, prompting ongoing research and debate among archaeologists, anthropologists, and neuroscientists. Understanding this paradox not only sheds light on the development of human behavior, but also on the broader narrative of anatomically modern humans' journey through history. The explanation of this topic continues to evolve as new DMG.
Yes, sir.
Can I take this down because I don't know what happened. What happened?
All right. I paused the time at 12 minutes, 13 seconds. What you want me to remove it?
Yeah, but this is the wrong. Yeah, take that down, please. Let me just check.
All right.
What's my time, right?
I paused the time at 12 minutes, 13 seconds.
Thanks. 1 second.
And family, while the brother gets reset, again, we got the Black Sage Elder Yara versus Khalil Shabazz this Saturday, 7:15. The topic is Islam the black man's religion? Be here for that. And then Sunday, we have Big Hemi defending the Worldview Wars Debate League title against MVP Chris Harris. The topic is Jesus was not a Messiah / Savior according to the Hebrew text. Be here for both of those powerful debates.
Yeah, I'm here. I just need to remove. Okay. I just need to try to upload it again. My apologies. I don't know why it uploaded that one because I did the whole thing all over. I don't know what in the world.
Okay.
My apologies. Yeah, it's only one of them. It's up, and if it don't upload right, then I'm gonna have to read it. Hopefully, it uploads right.
Okay. Let us know.
Do you see it uploading?
I do not.
It says uploading.
I see you, Heru, and Heru's presentation. I don't see you sharing anything yet.
It's processing.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with DMG. Shout out to Step Into the Light, the info monger herself, Miss Ivory. Shout out to Miss Heru Conscious in the building. Shout out to the best moderator in the biz, Michelle Turner. Shout out to the Black Sage himself, Elder Yara. Shout out to each and every one of y'all in the chat. We appreciate you for being here and rocking with us. Shout out to the undeniable superstar Silky D, my man Nerdy Brew, my man Rocky, in the building. Shout out to the indigenous black man. He been around a lot lately. Shout out to him. Shout out to the legendary JJ7K and everybody else in the chat. All right, Steve, I see it. Let me know when you're ready for me to share it.
That's not it. What I'm gonna have to do, let me try sharing this, because that's not it. That is not it. 1 second. Why in the world? Okay, what I'm gonna have to do is I can't keep showing them slides because those are the wrong slides. And when I share, even when I share it, it's not those slides. My slides ain't coming up. Those are slides that I redid my slides, and the right slides ain't coming up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to read this without showing them slides, because them slides will totally throw my whole presentation off. Or maybe I'll just stay on one slide and read it. I got to do.
All right, let me know.
Yeah, that's what I got to do, because them slides. Okay, so put my slides back up, please. I won't click through it. I'll just read it.
All right. Time starts at 12 minutes, 13 seconds.
Yeah, can't do that. Okay. All right, let's go. So topic 2, hominid ghost DNA proves that the theory of anatomically modern human evolution is incomplete. Okay, so definition, so hominid, any member of the zoological tribe Hominini, family Hominidae, order primates, of which only one species exists today, Homo sapiens, or human beings, from Botanica.com. Definition of ghost DNA. Ghost DNA refers to genetic material inherited from an ancient human population of which there is no fossil DNA and no direct remains. Scientists detect it only through statistical patterns in modern genomes, while certain DNA segments do not match any known human lineage, Homo sapiens sapien. The theory of anatomically modern human evolution is incomplete. The ghost hominin has no genus and species classification. The West African ghost hominid genetic material, who carries it? The Yoruba, the Mende, other West African groups. Estimated divergent times, roughly 500,000 to 700,000 years ago. Split from the lineage that led to somebody using the toilet, that led to modern humans, Neanderthals, and Denisovans before Neanderthals split from Homo sapiens sapiens. How much DNA? About 2 to 19% of the genome in some West African populations shows archaic signatures, possible traits, with no single trait is definitively linked, but researchers suggest contributions to, so this ghost DNA, they think that they don't know where it came from. There are no fossils, but there are remnants of it in the statistical evidence in our DNA. So they think that it assists with our immune system, similar to how Neanderthal DNA affect immunity in Eurasians. Metabolic pathways such as enzymatic studies that control the rate of digestion, breakdown, and synthesis buildup of cellular products, and brain development. Regulatory regions, not brain size, but regulatory timing. For example, Homo sapiens sapien prefrontal cortex is fully developed by the age 28 for higher cognitive reasoning abilities. Nothing exotic or non-human, just deep ancient African diversity. So Ethiopian ghost DNA and the incomplete theory of anatomically modern human evolution. What scientists found in Ethiopia? Although the term ghost DNA is sometimes used broadly for Africa, the Ethiopian case is especially interesting because Ethiopians carry some of the most diverse human DNA on Earth. Modern Ethiopian populations show deep genetic lineages that preserve signals from very ancient human groups. This is highlighted in scientific discussions and popular analyses of Ethiopian genetic diversity. In the ghost ancestry comes from an unknown archaic human group. Genetic studies reveal that some African population, including Ethiopians, carry DNA segments that do not match Neanderthals or Denisovans, and instead point to an extinct, unidentified hominid. This mirrors finding in West Africa, where the mysterious archaic lineage contributed to modern genomes. The archaic group likely split from the anatomically modern human lineage before Neanderthals and Denisovans. The ghost population appeared to have been a very ancient branch, possibly diverging from the Homo sapien line hundreds of thousands of years ago, then interbreeding with ancestors of modern Africans. The theory of anatomically modern human evolution is complex. Most ghost DNA makes it even more incomplete. No fossils or DNA from this group have been found. Because Africa's climate destroys ancient DNA, scientists rely on computational reconstruction rather than physical remains. They detect ghost DNA by finding segments that don't fit the known human evolutionary tree. How ghost DNA is detected. Researchers compare thousands of genomes and look for DNA segments that are too old to come from Homo sapiens alone. Patterns that don't match Neanderthals or Denisovans, integration, meaning interbreeding. Statistical leftover signals of interbreeding with an unknown group. This method is the same one used to detect ghost ancestry in West Africa. What this means for Ethiopian origin. Ethiopians descend from multiple ancient human groups. Their ancestry includes early Homo sapiens, later Eurasian back migration, and an unknown archaic African hominid, a ghost population. The complexity of African human evolution is incomplete. Ethiopia preserves some of the deepest branches of human evolution. This aligns with Ethiopia's archaeological importance. The Omo, the Kabish, the Heru, and other sites contain some of the oldest Homo sapiens fossils. The ghost DNA does not imply non-human ancestry. It simply reflects the complexity of African human evolution, the presence of multiple hominid groups living at the same time, interbreeding, just like with Neanderthals and Denisovans outside Africa. The ghost DNA in Ethiopian people is genetic evidence of interbreeding between early Homo sapiens and an unknown extinct African hominid population that left no fossils or recoverable DNA. It highlights Ethiopia's role as one of the most genetically ancient and diverse regions in human history. Incomplete anatomically modern human evolutionary theory, other Africans with ghost DNA. Central African populations such as Shumlaka region, ancient remains from Shumlaka, Cameroon, reveals genetic patterns suggesting ancestry from unknown archaic humans. The DNA was surprisingly well preserved and showed lineages not represented in any known fossil group. This suggests that Central Africa hosted multiple hominid groups whose DNA persists in modern populations. Other African populations, general evidence. Broader African genomic studies show that early Homo sapiens interbred with at least one or more unknown archaic groups. These ghost populations left genetic footprints across several regions of Africa. This includes East African, some Southern African groups, populations with deep ancestral lineages. The ghost DNA in non-African populations makes the theory of anatomically modern human evolution incomplete. Non-African populations with ghost DNA outside Africa. People also carry ghost ancestry, but from different extinct hominids, Melanesians, Aboriginal Australians, and some Southeastern Asians. They carry high levels of Denisovan DNA, but also signals of multiple Denisovan-like ghost lineages that have never been found in fossils. East Asians. Some East Asian populations have evidence of multiple archaic intergressions, interbreeding, including Denisovan-related groups that differ from the ones in Oceania. A vast region of the Pacific Ocean is what is called Oceania. It comprises thousands of islands, including Australia, New Zealand, and numerous smaller island nations with a population of over 46 million people. South Asians. Genetic study shows traces of archaic intergressions, meaning interbreedings, from unknown hominid groups distinct from Neanderthals and Denisovans. Non-African ghost DNA and genetic studies are well established in peer-reviewed literature. The non-linear braided river of anatomically modern human evolutionary theory is incomplete. Why ghost DNA is common? Ghost DNA appears whenever an ancient hominid group existed. It interbred with early humans. Its fossils or DNA did not survive, no fossil evidence, but its genetic signature remains in living people. Africa, with its long human history and poor DNA preservation conditions, naturally shows the strongest ghost signals. Ethiopians are part of a much larger pattern. Ghost DNA is found in West Africans, strong evidence, Central Africans, Shum Laka lineage, other African groups with deep ancestry, Melanesians, Aboriginal Australians, Southeast Asians, East Asians, and South Asians, different ghost lineages. Human evolution was not a straight line. It was a braided river with many branches, some of which left only incomplete genetic shadows. Ghost DNA shows that the current anatomically modern human evolutionary tree is incomplete and missing entire branches. Ghost DNA strengthens the argument that the evolution of anatomically modern humans is incomplete, and the sense that the species did not arise through a clean, linear, closed system process. Instead, the genome still carries signals of interactions with archaic populations that have not yet been identified, mapped, or understood. The key point is that these signals reveal missing chapters in the evolutionary record, chapters that modern genetics can detect, but paleoanthropology has not yet filled in. How ghost DNA challenges the idea of a complete anatomically modern human evolutionary model. Modern West African populations carry 2 to 19% DNA from unidentified archaic lineages that is neither Neanderthal nor Denisovan. That is from scienceinformation.net, scienceinfo.net. Denisovans themselves interbred with an even older super archaic ghost lineage. That is from lifescience.com. This means that the current
is time. That is time. All right, let me remove Steve's screen. That is the conclusion of the round section of the debate. We will now reset the clock for 12 minutes as we go into everybody's favorite part, the chin check session, aka the Q&A. And since Heru went first during the round section as the affirmative, he will go second during the chin check session, which means Steve has 12 minutes to ask Heru as many questions as he can within that 12-minute time frame. Now, as y'all know, it is the person asking the questions time to manage. It is the person asking the questions time to manage. His opponent or her opponent, in this case, his opponent, may try to stall. They may try to continue to have the debate, the round section of the debate by going back and forth. It is up to the person asking the questions to manage their time. Now, each of the participants will have 3 timeouts. They can have me stop their time a total of 3 times. But other than that, if it gets too stagnant, as the moderator, I will step in, but it is up to the person asking the questions to manage their time. Steve, time will start when you ask your first question.
Okay, I'm ready. Heru, can you explain how the fossil record is complete?
Okay, so I never made a claim that the fossil record was complete. Can you hear me?
Okay. But that's the title of the debate. I mean, the title of the debate. The title, the question. Hold on. The question
title of the debate doesn't say about the fossil record.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Hold on. The title of the debate is about the origin of anatomically modern humans. And so correct. your presentation talked about the fossil record. So you're saying that the fossil record supports a complete version, a complete theory of evolution of anatomically modern humans. Is that not correct? You used the fossil record, didn't you not?
That's a straw man again.
This is it. Okay.
So let me answer your question.
This is a yes. This is a yes no question, right?
It's not a yes or no question.
Can I rephrase my question? Can I rephrase my question?
Or not? Because you're not going to straw man me.
You telling me I'm straw manning you. I'm asking you. Did you mention the fossil record in your presentation? Yes or no?
I didn't just show this fossil record. I showed 4 other domains as well. So I didn't.
Did you mention the fossil record?
I never used the word complete fossil record.
Okay.
I did mention the fossil record.
Here's my question now. Since you mentioned the fossil record, can you describe how the fossil record is complete? Can you describe how the fossil record? Can you describe how the fossil record completely explains the origin of anatomically modern humans?
Complete, but what I can.
But that is the title of the debate. But that's the title of the debate.
We have transitional fossil records that's actually backed by genetics, brother.
Okay, but the title of the debate is, does the theory of evolution completely explains the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapien? I asked you about the fossil record, and you're admitting that the fossil record does not completely support the evolutionary theory of anatomically modern humans. What about transitional morphology? Does that
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
I'm asking you another question. I'm asking you another question.
I'm
asking you. You just mentioned transitional morphology, sir. Did you not? So now I'm asking you. Can I ask my question? Can I ask my question? How does transitional morphology?
But you're not going to straw man me. You're not going to straw man me as to what.
But that's the title of the debate, Heru. I'm not pulling this out of the thin air. I'm not pulling it out of the thin air. I'm not.
Yeah, but I never once heard in my presentation.
That's the question.
But you never once heard in my presentation that there was a complete fossil record, bro. I've never said that there was a complete fossil record.
But that is the title. So you deviated. You deviated from the.
Again, I just explained the convergence of evidence. Time out. What we have is a fossil record.
Time out.
Come on, man, bro. You're not letting me answer the question. And I'm sure the judges heard me loud and clear when I said it.
Time out. Can you stop the time?
All right, time is stopped. That is Steve's first timeout. Time is stopped. Time is stopped at 8 minutes and 22 seconds. All right, so this is what we need to do. We need to ask the question and we need to answer the question. If the question isn't answered, Steve can say he gonna move on to his next question. However y'all want to manage it, but ask the question and answer the question. Are you ready for time to start?
Yes, sir.
Time starts at 8 minutes and 22 seconds.
Just to reiterate, the debate title is, does the theory of evolution completely explain the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens? That is the debate question, and the debate question is the word completely. So I'm not straw manning anyone. That is the debate question. Can you explain how natural selection is complete?
But you're avoiding.
Can you explain how natural selection? You mentioned in your presentation natural selection. Can you explain how natural selection is complete?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Well, see, here's the thing, brother. Again, what you're doing is a straw man. I never.
You're not
said
explaining. Can you answer the question, please?
You're not going to answer. You're not going to answer my question. If you're not going to let me answer, then why are you asking?
No. This is my turn. I asked the question. You're killing time.
And I'm answering your question. I'm not asking.
Go ahead. How is it complete? How is natural selection complete?
Again, it's a straw man. That's a straw man. I never got on here and said that natural selection alone is complete. I never once said that the fossil record is complete. What I showed in my rounds 1 and 2 is I showed.
You're not answering the question. That wasn't the question. That's not the question. You didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the question.
When you're looking for the complete, when you're looking for the complete is in the convergence of the evidence.
You didn't answer the question.
Completeness.
You didn't. The complete is in what? Where's the complete? Where's the complete?
Where's
the complete? Say it again. I didn't hear you.
You have multiple
complete
domains
in the convergence. Can you describe how the convergence? Can you describe how the convergence completely explains the origin of modern human? Anatomically modern human. You just said convergence. Yeah, that's what you said.
You're straw manning. You are.
I'm not destroying. But those are your words. That's what you just said. That's what you just said.
Bro, you have not heard me say.
Okay. Next question. So you cannot completely explain the evolutionary or the evolutionary theory of anatomically modern humans' origin. You cannot completely explain it, but you can't completely explain it. Okay, can you explain?
I explained it very well.
You cannot. You haven't completely explained it. Can you explain how? Can you explain how predictions are complete? And you mentioned predictions. How are predictions complete? Because that's what you've been talking about. Predictions. How are they complete?
Steve.
See the title right there? There's the title. There's the title right there.
Exactly.
Does the theory of evolution completely explain? I'm not trying to do. I didn't ask you a question. Time out. I didn't ask you a question. Time out.
Okay, so you here to preach. Go ahead and waste your time.
I'm not preaching. Why is this slide up? Why is this slide up? Did you put that up there?
That's the title of the. That's the title.
That's the title. That's right. That's the title.
I put it up really quickly. I put it up. Let me stop the time. Time is stopped at 5 minutes, 8 seconds. I put it up because I seen some people saying they didn't know the title. So I wanted people to see what the title was.
Thank you.
Now,
continue asking the questions now?
Now, I just want to answer your question, if I may.
No. Can I move on to another question? Can I move on to another question? Because you ain't answering. Can I move on to another question?
You won't let me answer.
Time has started.
Can you explain how the demography supports the complete evolution of anatomically modern humans? You mentioned demography. Can you explain how it comes?
Again, I'm going to bring you right back to where I keep taking you, and I'm not going to let you go. All of those
answer the question, man.
Let me answer the question. All of those independent lines or domains converge. That's how we get the completeness, bro. It's a convergence of evidence. So again, when you asked about the fossils, the genetic evidence supports that. It actually supports the whole. What you call it, the fossil record. The genetics actually supports the fossil records. I went through that through my slides. Every single domain that I mentioned, the evidence converges. That's what makes it complete. Not these individual little things you're trying to pick off and try to pigeonhole me into just saying something is complete. Don't do that, bro. Stop putting words in my mouth.
But these are terms that you mentioned, and you
I
can't
didn't use it in the fashion
but
that
you
you're
can't
using.
completely explain them yourself.
I did completely explain it.
You mentioned
weren't paying
another word,
attention.
heterochromy, right? That word heterochromy. How does that word heterochromy help you to completely explain the
You're
theory of
asking a straw man.
what is heterochromy? What is heterochromy, and how does it it support that the theory of evolution is complete?
Again, you're straw man.
Can you this was in your presentation, Heru. You mentioned something called heterochromy. How does that completely explain the origin of anatomically modern humans?
It doesn't alone. It doesn't do it alone. I just told you a convergence of evidence, and that's exactly what I presented tonight. What part of that don't you get?
Explain again.
You're just spinning in circles, asking the same questions.
No.
With different mechanism.
Do me
That's
a favor.
what you're doing.
Yeah, because it's not complete. Because it's not complete.
That does not mean that it's not complete. I just showed you. Do you know what convergence of evidence means?
Is a theory complete, Heru? Is a theory complete?
A scientific theory is not a guess. It's built. It's a well-established explanation for the natural world.
Is it
based upon what? Facts and evidence.
Falsifiable? Is it falsifiable?
Absolutely. That's what makes something.
So if it's falsifiable, is it complete? If it's falsifiable, is it complete?
Listen, bro. You don't understand science.
I fully understand science. I fully understand science.
Anything that you put as a scientific theory has to be falsifiable.
That's right.
You're not making a point here. You're not making any ground for yourself.
And the point is, if it is falsifiable, is it complete?
Bro, you're still missing the point. You're asking.
That's a yes or no. That's yes or no. That's a yes or no question.
I'm telling you,
if something is falsifiable, Heru, is it complete? That's a yes or no question.
I got you. I'm gonna write that down.
Write it down.
Say that again.
So a scientific theory, law, fact, truth is falsifiable, right? And if it is falsifiable, is it complete? Is the theory complete?
Well, here's the thing. You keep using inserting the word complete, and you're not going to find the word complete.
But that's in the title, Heru.
Scientific
that's
terminology.
In the title.
I know that's because you inserted that. So hold on. And here's
what do you mean I inserted it?
Earlier,
what do you mean I inserted it? That's what you took. You took the title. You read the title.
That's fine,
I didn't force it down your throat. You read the title.
Exposed you.
But you read the title. You read the title. You're literate.
I know.
So you knew what the title was. You knew what the title was, and you took the title.
I sure did. Don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with the title.
That's right.
You don't have a problem with accepting the convergence of evidence that proves your title to be a fact. That's the problem. You were harping that the word
even a fact, Heru, even a scientific fact is falsifiable. Even a scientific fact is falsifiable and it's incomplete because that's science, Heru. Science changes and science evolves. That's science, right?
Listen,
so you took an oxymoronic title. You took an oxymoronic
science integrity. It's open to refinement.
That's contradictory.
No, it's not. Matter of fact, I'll give you a perfect example since you don't want to answer questions and you're just preaching.
I'm asking you the questions. I'm asking you the questions.
You're not asking anything.
Because you ain't answering. Because you ain't answering.
And you waste your whole time.
You ain't answering, Heru. Because you're not answering.
I did answer. You're not answering. You're just not listening.
Yeah, because you strayed from the debate title, right?
No, what you tried to do.
Does the theory of evolution completely explain the origin of modern humans? Homo sapiens, sapiens.
You missed the whole mark, bro. You missed the whole mark.
I'm steady talking and I'm on mute. My bad. Time is reset. 12 minutes. Time is reset at 12 minutes. Hey, Heru, it is now your opportunity to ask Kemet Infomonger questions. Remember, it is the person asking the questions time to manage. They can say next question. They can call timeout. They have 3 opportunities to call timeout. Steve strategically used one of his timeouts. Normally, we don't get that and people just let the time elapse, but Steve was strategic and did use one of his timeouts to recalibrate. Hey, Heru, you have 3 opportunities to stop your time, but it is your time to manage. Time will start when the questions start.
All right. Question number 1 for you, Steve. Do you accept that anatomically modern humans appear in fossil record around 300,000 years ago in Africa? A simple yes or no will do.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. So do you accept that genetic diversity is the highest in African populations? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to confirm the out of Africa model. Okay, here's another one.
That wasn't a question.
I'm sorry?
That wasn't a question. You had a question?
It was a question. I asked you, do you
it.
accept genetic diversity is the highest in African populations? Yes or no? You said yeah. No big deal. That's the question, brother. So now let me get back to it. Do non-African humans carry Neanderthal DNA? Yes or no?
Yes, so do Africans.
Okay, good. So you accept branching and recombination between lineages, right?
So do Africans due to back migration.
Are you going to answer my question? Do you accept branching and recombination between lineages?
I didn't present on branch. I said it's a complex branches and the branch is incomplete. So I don't know what branches you're talking about.
You do acknowledge that non-African humans carry Neanderthal.
It's not linear. DNA. It's not linear. It is branching.
You understand that? That's not what I'm asking you. So I asked you again, since you do agree, and you said yes, that non-Africans do carry Neanderthal DNA, I asked you, do you accept branching and recombination between lineages? It's a simple question.
Okay, what do you mean by recombination between lineages? What do you mean by that?
So now you're looking at the migration patterns of going out of Africa and coming back in.
Back migration.
Yeah, and they're breeding, obviously,
right.
But you know, within that. So do you acknowledge that as true?
Yes, but it's not complete.
Okay, so again, by you saying that, you're actually rejecting the Green et al. 2010 Science Genome paper. You know what I'm saying? So now what you're looking at right now is anti-scientific. I don't know what you're trying to do here. But hold on.
What are you saying?
Mr.
Oxymoron, Mr. Oxymoron, you're contradicting yourself. Don't say that I'm doing it. You're doing it.
Do you deny?
I understand what you're saying.
This is my question. Do you deny
I said it's
that
not
earlier?
Complete.
Bro, this is my question. I'm on something different. Do you deny that earlier Homo sapiens, skulls show less globularity than modern ones?
You presented on globularity, and that's you presented on globularity, and it's not clear what you're talking about when you talk about globularity. So I don't even know what globularity is. That's what you presented on, sir. You're asking me questions about what you presented on.
Okay, so let me break it down for you, because you acknowledged this earlier. Let me break it down for you. You do realize that archaic humans had elongated heads, right? And then modern humans have a more rounder shaped head with a globular brain, right?
Okay.
Is that a fact? Yes or no? Archaic humans have elongated heads, bro.
A fact or not. Other than that, a fact is in science is falsifiable. So you may say that it's a fact, but it can be proven. It can be modified. It can't be modified because a fact is science.
So now let's move on. Let's move on, bro. Do you deny? How about this here? Is gradual morphological change across time consistent with evolutionary theory? Yes or no?
Yes, but it's not complete.
Yeah, so you didn't concede it, bro. It's over. All right, now watch
this
here.
I said yes, but it's not complete. The title says complete. The title says complete. Yes, but it's not complete.
Do allele frequencies change in populations over time? Yes or no?
What does that have to do with the debate title? Of course, it's changing.
Allele frequencies. You don't know what allele frequencies is?
I know what allele frequencies are. What does that have to do with the debate title?
To do with the
what does that? Okay, yes explain. No? Now, so you explain. Of course they.
No, I don't need to explain
change
anything.
over time.
It's my time
yes,
to
they
ask
change
the
over time.
So
explain how that has to do with what that has to do with the debate title.
I'm not going to explain anything. That's not what this round is for.
But it's the debate title. Let's stick to the debate title.
Stop my time.
All right, time is stopped. Heru has used one of his timeouts. All right, so from here on out, let's ask the question. Let's get the question answered. So ask and answer. Let me know when you're ready for the time to resume.
Okay, I'm ready, brother. Okay, we're going to get back to the frequency shift. Do allele frequencies change in populations over time? Yes or no?
Depending on the population. What population are you referring to? It is not going to change in completely. Depending on some populations, going to be more rapid than other populations. What population are you referring to?
Listen, you said yes.
What population are you referring to?
We're talking about populations of hominids and all the way up to
right. That's the debate title. So that's the debate title.
All the way to modern humans.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. So we're talking about modern humans. We're not talking about bacteria.
Okay, even
we're not talking about fish. We're talking about modern humans.
Listen, again, we talk about modern humans. That's the population we're talking about. I don't even understand why you're trying to ask me a question.
Alleles change, again, but it's not complete.
One more time, bro.
But it's not complete.
Does allele frequencies change in populations over time? Yes or no?
Yes, but it's not completely explained.
Okay, so that's it. That's it. You just conceded to microevolution. So then, if
is it complete?
Hold on. Let me ask you this: what is macroevolution other than accumulated allele frequency shifts over long time scales?
Okay, so you define macroevolution. Fine.
I'm not defining anything. I asked you a question.
But I didn't present on macro. I didn't present on micro or macroevolution.
Okay, so
what do you expect? You asking me questions about stuff I didn't present on.
You're running now because you're in trouble. Now
but you didn't. But you're asking me questions about stuff I didn't present on.
Additional? Okay, let me ask you this: what additional mechanism do you claim is required?
I didn't say any mechanism is required because you're in the affirmative. All I have to do is stick to the debate title and prove and query question that is not complete. That's my job, bro. That was my job.
But when I'm
all I have to do is to say that you did not prove it's complete.
Okay, so let me ask you this here.
That's my job.
Let me ask you this question, brother. Let me ask you this question, because we obviously know that there's no alternative scientific model that explains fossil continuity.
Does that have to do with the debate title?
Developmental biology and nested hierarchies better than evolution. That's exactly what I showed tonight. That's exactly what I showed tonight.
But that's not the debate title. That's not the question. So you strayed. You digress. You digress from the debate question.
Stop, bro.
I didn't have to present any mechanism. I did not have to present.
Steve, stop. It's my time to ask the question and you answer. It's not time for you to preach. Listen, what mechanism explains the pattern distribution of derived traits across time?
I don't
know. Show me that.
I don't know.
You don't know. Good. I know you don't. Now, here's where it goes, bro. Do fossils show gradual change?
What does that have to do with the debate question?
Everything.
The fossil record is complete. The fossil record is not complete.
Do allele frequency shift?
In what species? What species are you talking about?
Affect morphology.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You won't answer any of those questions.
You're asking me yes or no questions, right? You're asking me yes or no questions.
It's not time for you. It's not time.
You're not allowing me to explain anything. You're asking me yes or no questions. If you knew how to ask questions, you would ask me to describe or explain. If you knew how to ask, you would ask me to describe or explain.
So those are mechanisms.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Those are mechanisms and predictions of evolutionary theory.
Right.
So,
but my job wasn't to propose an alternate mechanism. My job was not to propose an alternate mechanism. That was not my job.
Stop my time again, because he's not getting out of this.
That wasn't my job.
I got you exactly where I want you.
All right,
That wasn't my
the
job.
time is stopped. The time is stopped. There's 3 minutes left on the clock. Now, I'm going to ask again. Ask the question, answer the question. Heru, you are asking. Steve, you are answering.
I'm answering.
Heru, that was your second time out, if I'm not mistaken. You
Yes, sir.
have one timeout left. Time starts at 3 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right. Do you accept that allele frequency can shift and that populations can interbreed?
That's true. That they
Okay,
they
okay.
can't
So
integrate.
then what is ghost DNA other than integration between diverged populations?
What?
You need me to re-enter it? You need me to say that again?
Question. Yeah, say it again.
Okay. So you did say that you accept that the allele frequencies can shift and that populations can interbreed, right?
Right.
So then I asked you, then what is ghost DNA other than integration between diverged populations?
Okay. But that ghost DNA, there are no fossils to support that ghost
Bro,
DNA.
come
So
on, man.
hold
You're not
on.
answering my
I'm answering
question.
your question. There are no fossils to support that ghost DNA, right? It's not in the fossil record. They don't know where that ghost DNA come from. It's from an archaic lineage that they don't have any fossils to support it. All they know is from doing computational research of existing humans, right?
Okay,
so
Steve.
that makes
Steve.
the theory of anatomically modern human evolution incomplete because
No,
of
it
the
doesn't.
ghost DNA.
No, it doesn't. And I'm gonna tell you where that
Yes, it does.
fails
It's
right now.
incomplete because the
that
fossil
is-
record doesn't support it.
Come on, Steve.
I stopped the time at 1 minute 40 seconds for the last time.
Come on,
Hey,
man.
Rube, you asked, Steve, you answered. Time starts at 1 minute 40 seconds.
Okay, so would you agree that when we're talking about ghost DNA, it would imply that there were additional hominin populations that we hadn't yet sequenced? Would that be a correct assessment to say?
There's no fossils to support it.
I'm just saying we haven't yet sequenced it, right?
How are you going to sequence it? How are you going to sequence it?
Well, we know through genetics. But that's not a problem because that's expected in branching
We don't know.
Tree.
There's nothing there to support it. We don't know. We may or we may not find the fossils. More than likely, we're not going to find the fossils because fossils are very rare in nature. We know it exists because it exists in anatomically modern humans, right? Because of the genetic computations, because of the computer analysis. We know that there's something there, but we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. How are you going to tell me it's complete?
Stop and let me ask my question.
You ain't got no more time, my brother.
Hold on.
You ain't got no more timeouts.
Bro, stop and let me ask my question.
36 questions.
Let me ask my question. Do populations of organisms ever interbreed after divergence?
It depends. If there's speciation, they can't. If there's speciation, they can't interbreed. So if that diverge and there's isolated, they can't interbreed. Because
so now ghost DNA. So isn't ghost DNA simply evidence of gene flow from unsampled archaic populations?
But we don't know from what they archaic. We don't know from what population. We don't know. We don't know. They're archaic humans. They don't exist in the fossil records. We don't know from what. It's incomplete.
And that is time. Hey, we know exactly why the chin check session is everybody's favorite part. The debate. This is the Worldview Wars Debate League. For those who are watching on Paradigm Shift TV 314, which is most, if not all of you, because I forgot to do the switch over after 30 minutes. But this debate will be on Worldview Wars Debate League. If you want to get a second look, it will be coming down tomorrow morning on Paradigm Shift, but you can see the replay on Worldview Wars Debate League. Sister Michelle, if you're still in the chat, can you put that link in? Mika, Michelle, Miss Heru, one of y'all put the link in for Worldview Wars Debate League for me. And these two brothers brought it tonight. We're going home with a new academic champion. Well, we're not going home, but the Fallout show should be Tuesday, and we'll find out which one of these brothers the judges thought deserved to be the new academic champion. Now, if Heru win the academic title, he will have had an historic feat to become the second man to hold two titles at the same time in the history of the Versus Series / Worldview Wars Debate League. The first one was the pseudo slayer Cedric Ortega. And so the brother may make history coming out of this debate. But if Steve wins, he will be our second ever academic champion. All right, man. Each of you brothers will have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to close out. Again, since Heru went first during the round session, he will go last in the closeout. Steve went last in the opening and in the round section. Heru is going last in the chin check closeout session. So, Steve, the clock is set at 3 minutes. Time will start when you start. Do you want to share your screen?
No, DMG.
All right. Time starts when you start.
Conclusion. The affirmative argument has not definitively proven that the theory of evolution completely explains the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapien. My opponent is in the affirmative, and he insists that the theory of evolution completely explains the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens. I have already punctured or ruptured his argument by showing that the term scientific theory means that explanations of phenomena are not complete, total, definitive, or absolute. The oxymoron and walking, talking contradiction is in the affirmative and did not prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the theory of evolution completely explains the origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens. My background in biology allows me to effectively challenge this oxymoronic claim and argument. In addition, not fulfilled is the burden of proof by thoroughly arguing in the affirmative and completely explaining specific aspects of Homo sapiens sapien evolutionary theory. Boss man, the term scientific law, fact, and truth are more conclusive than a scientific theory, even with transitional fossils. The fossil record is incomplete and does not fully explain the evolutionary origin of modern humans, Homo sapiens sapiens. The evolutionary origin and biochemical pathway by which chimp chromosome telomere 2A and 2B fuse is uncertain and therefore incomplete. Even AI says that the core enzymatic pathway is known, but it does not know the complete biochemical mechanism and how and when enzymes functioned during fusion. Conclusion. There is no complete theory of Homo sapiens sapiens evolution. Osman, the theory of Homo sapiens sapien evolutionary origin is incomplete and does not answer the sapien paradox, rise of civilization. The debate question is not specific to biological evolution, but is broad enough that cognitive and cultural evolution can also be queried and questioned. This begs the question, what took Homo sapiens sapiens so long? Why did humans spend 50,000 years or more in seemingly uneventful prehistory, with hunter-gatherers living the exact same way across thousands of generations before starting on the trajectory that took humanity from cave paintings to almost self-driving cars in the the comparable blink of an eye. Having self-driving cars is an indication of as indication of an advanced civilization is relative to those engaging in conversation. Hominid ghost DNA proves that the theory of anatomically modern human evolution is incomplete. The ghost DNA in non-African populations makes the theory of anatomically modern human DNA incomplete. How much more time do I have, DMG?
My bad, Steve.
Thank you so much.
My apologies. Couldn't get myself together. I told y'all I'm a little jacked up right now. All right, time resets at 3 minutes. Hey, Heru, are you sharing your screen?
No, I won't be sharing.
All right, time starts when you start.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we heard was a bunch of flim-flamming and, a lot of intellectual dishonesty. And especially when it gets down to the ghost DNA, it absolutely shows that there was, an earlier hominid species that, obviously predated modern humans. And this is why we have a shared ancestry that ties back. He even showed that with the, with the chromosome 2. So let me get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to thank every last one of y'all for coming out and supporting both of us and supporting the platform. Tonight's resolution was really quite simple. Does evolutionary theory completely explain the origin of anatomically modern humans? We're not talking about consciousness or morality or ultimate meaning. Anatomical origin is key. And so across 2 rounds, we examined 4 independent scientific domains: paleontology, genetics, developmental biology, and population modeling. And what did we find? We found that fossil continuity stretching back to 300,000 years in Africa, which he admitted to. Not a sudden appearance. We found gradual morphological change, not instant formation. We found shared derived mutations and Neanderthal integration, not genetic continuity. We found allele frequency shifts accumulating over time, not fixed, not static populations. We also found that developmental mechanisms explaining skull globularity and facial reduction, not unexplained transformation. And most importantly, this is the part where he keeps trying to avoid. This is the dagger. The lines of evidence do not just merely coexist, they converge, which means they all complement each other and tell the same exact story. So while he's talking about the fossil record being incomplete, again, the genetic evidence actually mimics the actual fossil record. So independent scientific disciplines using different methods, different data sets, different predictive models, all reconstruct the same branching history. That's not a coincidence. That's explanatory power. Now consider the alternative. If evolution were false, what we expect? We would expect no transitional fossils whatsoever, no nested hierarchy, no shared mutations across populations, no genetic recombination between lineages. We actually observed the opposite. And throughout cross-examination, the core mechanisms were conceded. Y'all seen it. He couldn't answer anything. So now here we are. Allele frequencies change. Populations.
That is time. Listen, this was an interesting debate. This was a powerful debate, and it was highly contentious. Like I said, the Fallout show should be on Tuesday, no later than Wednesday. We will convene with the judges. I'm going to have them send me their findings. I'm going to try to have them condense it like we did with the Taz and Joshua video. Hopefully neither one of these brothers will act like Taz did. But that being said, this has been Kemet Infomonger, Steve Caballero versus the Pseudo Hunter, Heru Conscious. Again, Heru could come out of this thing with 2 belts. We're going to have to call them Heru 2 belts. Or Steve can become the academic champion. Hey, one man can walk away with 2, one man can walk away the new. Either way it go, we are crowning a new academic champion. And I think this was a very powerful and contentious debate. Let me know who y'all think won. And we'll see you on the Fallout Show to see what the judges thought. Again, next weekend, we got Khalil Shabazz versus Elder Yara on Saturday. MVP Chris Harris challenging Big Hemi for the Worldview Wars Debate League world title next Sunday. We hope to have y'all here with us. 2 powerful debates. I hope they are as exciting and as contentious as this one was tonight. Salute to both of these brothers being here with me. They could have been anywhere in the world, but they here with DMG, just like all of y'all. So salute to the chat. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, and we will be black at it again. I got Jose Francis coming on tomorrow. Check that out. And I might have something lined up Tuesday, but if I don't, then we will get the Fallout Show on Tuesday. If not, I'll push it back to Wednesday. We also going to have a new top 10 coming out by the end of the week. Who will be in the first Worldview Wars Debate League top 10? We will see coming up this week. Again, Heru, salute to you, my brother. Steve,
Salute,
we appreciate you, brother. And we'll see y'all next time. Fallout Show will be Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll let you 2 brothers know ahead of time so y'all can pop in. We're going to find out who the new academic champion is.
All right.
Until next time, family, that is peace. We out.
I don't got no friends. I don't got no friends. You know what I mean? I got supporters, people on my side and people on the other side.
Welcome to a shift where the whole room blows. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. This you flat, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm like, yo, shine just right. Respect your view even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. This that channel that be talking back, energy attack. Iron sharpens iron, watch the whole league react. Competition in the building, better tighten up your facts. We ain't clones, but we still mirror how you crack under impact. Every debater work hard, spot a weak, rep fast. You live wrong, paradigm shift and break your stance. I'm the judge, the jury, the pen, the contrast. My bars hit always like a quadruple. Buying title shift where the whole room glow. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't all align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. We invite every mind, long as you stand on yours. Walking with respect, leave with open doors. Channel stay lit, views jumping off from boards. STL bounce, yeah, the spy from the source. Competitors, welcome, step up, don't fold. We don't fit pressure, we refine under load. Thoughts heavy, we press them till the truth get told. Shift so clean, it feel platinum even when it's gold. Come through correct, bring your logic and your proof. Speak your truth, just don't run from the truth. We debate with grace, that's the paradigm groove. Flow so smooth, even turbulence move. Welcome to the shift where the whole room go. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Where the home glow. DMG vibes got the city on go. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' know. If you black, I'm with you, let the whole world know. Paradigm light, yeah, we shine just right. Respect your view, even if we don't align right. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibes got the city on go. Welcome to the shift. Stand on what you know, every mind gon' grow. Welcome to the shift. If you black, I'm with you, with you, if you black, I'm with you. Welcome to the shift. We can disagree and still keep the love tight. Welcome to the shift. DMG family, we elevate the mind right. Welcome to the shift. DMG vibe got the city on low. Corporate paradigm shift, TV on 4.
Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me.